Thank you for joining this episode of the Therapy Business Club podcast. As always, a very special guest. We'll get into what they are doing in a moment. But Therapy Business Club is all about helping therapists, new or established, with their business sense, how to market, how to get out there and engage the clients they want to work with. We have a website, therapybusinessclub.com, where you can have a free 14-day trial, access our resources, join our Facebook group, join us for our weekly coaching lounge, tons of other stuff to help you on your therapy journey, and not just to, get by, but to flourish as a therapist in the world, helping people make the world a better place. Awesome. Right. This week, my special guest, fellow therapist, and member of Therapy Business Club is Annette MacCaul. Hi, Annette. How are you?
Hi, Ewan. How are you doing? Thank you very much for inviting me on.
I'm looking forward to this because you've got quite a bit of background that we're going to hear about in a minute. And you've obviously, I think, been in over 10 years now as a therapist in it. So obviously you're doing some things right.
Yes.
So we're going to sort of probe that area and see what's helpful for other people listening to this, what's working for you, what things to avoid, and just a bit more about you. So let's start there, your background. Just introduce us. Who is Annette MacCaul?
Right. My background was originally in nursing, in learning disabilities nursing and social work.
Okay.
I'd done that for many years. I moved to Cornwall from London and had a break from it. I started doing airbrush body art, spray on tattoos.
Wow. I would have never have thought.
And then went into doing face painting. Me and my partner at the time, we had a team of people.
Gosh.
We did all the town days. We did flambards.
Oh yeah. Closed now, I think.
Was it?
I think so.
Oh, it's a shame.
Not really.
Eden Project, which hopefully hasn't closed.
Not no, my wife's there today actually, so no, it definitely hasn't.
Yeah, I did that for a few years.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, my partner got very ill, and we were unable to continue that.
No.
He passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Um, yeah, I initially went back into learning disability services, decided that I'd done my bit and I didn't want to do it anymore.
Hmm.
So I went off to university. I did a master's degree in health services research. And during that time, I went off to see a friend of mine for some training weekends called Chris Hughes up in Banbury. And he was teaching people street and stage hypnosis, how to hypnotize your friends at a barbecue, that kind of thing.
It's a useful skill.
It is very useful and huge fun. And then I kind of got towards the end of my master's degree and thought, well, what am I going to do? I didn't really want to be a health services researcher.
Hmm.
So I started having to think about what it was I wanted to do. And what I kept being drawn back to was hypnosis.
Right.
I had a chat with Chris and he said, you know what, you'd make a great hypnotherapist. Go off, get your piece of paper. Once you've got your piece of paper, come back to me and I'll tell you all the people you need to go and train with to do it properly.
Wow. So how long ago was this then, Annette? How long are we
Uh,
talking?
I, when did I qualify? 2012.
Right, so 13 odd years ago now. Yeah. So that was stage hypnosis, but are you doing stage hypnosis now, that sort of side of things?
I
No,
did my hypnotherapy
hypnotherapy.
diploma based on what Chris had said,
Right.
and then started practicing in 2013.
So that, yeah, 12 years. And then that's been full time, has that been?
That has been full time.
Oh, good for you. I mean, a lot of people, will struggle to make it a full time occupation, won't they? For reasons we'll get into. But I mean, 12 years, that's longevity. So you're obviously doing something right, and good for you. So So, okay, that's a good sort of shoe into the current work you're doing. And maybe it's, expanded or changed over the years, but essentially now and at today, what are you doing as a therapist?
Well, I am still working as a therapist, but I'm not having as many clients as I did before because I've now moved from Cornwall to Hampshire.
Right.
And when I moved into a place that needed work. So I spent a couple of years renovating that. But of course, I'm in a different area. I have to start again from scratch.
And that's been so how long have you been in Winchester then? How long is it?
That's 3 years.
3 years, and it's still sort of taking time to establish a local clientele.
But it's only in the past year that I've really seriously started getting back into marketing and getting, really pushing to get the business back going, get it back up and running again.
Yeah, yeah.
What I've also found is what I did 10 years ago is out of date.
Is that right?
What's changed
In
since
terms of tech, or in terms of marketing or reaching people,
in terms of
yeah,
marketing.
yeah, yeah. I suppose one of the big things is social media, isn't it? I mean, it was there 10 years ago, but it's so ubiquitous now. You've really got to know your way around it.
I mean, you could get away with just kind of like just posting a couple of times a week on Facebook to a few local groups, and the word got round.
Yeah.
Of course, you were also relying on the Cornish grapevine, but
Yeah. There's a lot of need down here in Cornwall as well. It's funny. I just wonder what the perception is of, hypnotherapy. I still don't think it's as widespread or as accepted. I can't say this categorically, but it's still labeled as an alternative
mm,
therapy, isn't it? People when they're ill, they don't think of hypnotherapy. They think of I better go to the doctor, I better get a prescription, and that's the flow. The prescription drugs are over the counter. I appreciate there are other therapies now that are getting sort of a bit of attention. Maybe we should call them complementary rather than alternative. But maybe the problem is in that people just don't associate something like hypnotherapy with something that can, be a real powerful um, health solution for them.
no, it's not something that's discussed enough. It's not talked.
No. I mean, doctors probably don't push it, do they? I mean, they have their thing. I think sometimes they're just pushing prescription drugs, to be honest, because that's part of a surgery's business model. But anyway, that's a separate issue altogether. But maybe it is awareness. And I think there's a lot of therapists out there. Every year there's a new wave of therapists coming through, which again, we'll talk about in a minute. So some of the big issues you find yourself encountering in your therapy practice, and what would they be?
In terms of marketing,
No, sorry. And just in terms of the sort of work you're doing, phobias, anxieties, fears. Is there a sort of a hot demand you are meeting in your work?
it tends to be mainly around anxiety.
Right.
Although recently I've been getting a few people coming through with insomnia
Okay. Oh, well, the
and
two are linked, I would imagine, aren't they?
going up as well.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to be anxious about in the world, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you sort of niching things, or do you sort of a jack of all trades?
I tend to focus on the anxiety angle.
Okay.
So anything is, but anxiety does cover. It's a big umbrella.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure it counts as niching.
No, well, I was going to ask you that. I mean, later, but I'll ask now. There's some people in that feel, they should niche is a good thing because it gives them a very defined market, easier to message and put out messaging about how you can help people. While I'm of the opinion, hypnotherapy is such a great tool for many things. I wouldn't want to be just doing one particular thing. You might fall into things like an anxiety, or people get known for smoking cessation, and that can be quite lucrative, actually, just concentrating on that thing. So, in your experience, which is 12 years plus, you've probably done a lot of types of therapy, true?
Yes, yes, I've covered most things.
Yeah.
uh, I I can see the benefit of niching
Hmm.
from a marketing point of view, because you can just really, really push that. And you can, if you can make yourself the expert,
Yeah.
the go-to person, the go-to anxiety person, the go-to weight loss person, then that can be extremely lucrative.
Mm. Yeah.
But at the same time, you're also going to be perhaps missing out on other people.
True. I suppose therapists by nature are compassionate. They want to help people, as many people as possible with any sorts of conditions. And from my own training, and I know that hypnotherapy, properly applied, can help many people in many ways, physiologically, not just mentally, emotionally, but it is a very powerful way of working with people, isn't it?
Yeah, there's plenty of research that,
Yeah.
indicates that hypnotherapy is effective for pain, IBS,
Mm,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be purely psychological.
No. But I suppose, go ahead.
Element.
I suppose if you do get good at one thing, like we use smoking cessation. I know there's someone recently in the therapy business club. I can't remember the name, but I think they did a sort of a live session. Perhaps it was a marketing mingle. They've done very, very well. Six figures per annum from the smoking thing. I suppose if you're viewing it solely as a business, then why would you change a model that's obviously working? Do you do any smoking cessation stuff?
I do a one-off, one session.
Okay,
It's a long session, but it's a couple of hours.
right.
Expensive, but it's quite effective. Although there don't seem to be that many smokers.
Well, vaping is the thing. Do you see them as the same, or do you think?
Vaping is going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, yeah. So do you get any vaping clients?
I've had one.
Right. Okay. I s
I basically did the same as I would for a stop smoking.
Yeah, and it works the same, does it?
Well, they're still smoking. It's just a different method.
I guess, yeah. I suppose, do you think it's true in it that people see vaping as a sort of a safe type of smoking, so the need to be free from it is not as acute as, cigarette smoking?
Yeah, well, it's been promoted as a way of stopping smoking, but of course, with the industry isn't particularly well regulated.
Mm,
Um, we know that there are issues with people breathing in chemicals, especially the sweeter ones. There was the whole thing in America with the popcorn lung. I don't know if you heard of that.
no,
Um, it was the people who were working in the popcorn factories, and they didn't have proper ventilation, and they were breathing in all the dust
gosh.
from with all the flavorings and everything else from the popcorn. And
Mm,
they started developing breathing difficulties, and it was found that they had lung damage
wow.
from the dust they were breathing in, and it was called popcorn lung.
It's a big lawsuit coming, I'm sure.
Mhm. They now have extractor fans in the factories
Yeah.
to protect the workers. But it started appearing in youngsters who were vaping.
Mm. I think long term, it's got to be damaging, hasn't it? What can be really good about it at all? Um, but I suppose as long as the government's making some tax on it, like they are with cigarettes, I mean, it's hard to get around that, isn't it? Anyway, good, good. Marketing, in terms of marketing and that, what's working for you presently that might encourage other people to think, yeah, I'm going to try that.
Do you
What's
know what's
working?
really working? And this is going to sound like a terrible plug. I haven't been paid to say this.
Okay.
But the Therapy Business Club has been absolutely brilliant in, I was saying before, I my knowledge in marketing is out of date now.
Hmm.
And it's given me the direction, it's given me the understanding of what I need to do and how much I
Yeah.
need to do. I've already especially because I've just done the marketing weekend with Richard Barker and Kev Webster, which was
Awesome.
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
If they do another one, I think, yeah, go to the next one because it was absolutely fantastic.
I will.
Um, But what I came away with that, I've already started bulk creating posts for Facebook. I'm in the process of completely redesigning the website, and I'm going to be looking at creating funnels.
You're talking like a marketing person, Annette.
I know,
Funnels.
funnels.
It's
This
very
is the effect of one weekend can have on a person.
well. You're right. You've got to be intentional about these things. You'd be expecting clients to fall out of the sky straight into our, our contact form. It's not going to happen, is it? Especially in such a saturated arena now.
And as a hypnotherapist, the hypnosis part, working with the client, that's the fun bit.
Mm, mm.
Doing books, that's the boring bit. But the real part of the job is the marketing.
Yeah.
You could be the greatest hypnotherapist in the world, but if your marketing's rubbish, you're not
Mm.
going to go anywhere.
That's
You could be
true.
a mediocre hypnotist, but if you're really good at marketing, you're going to make money. You might not have clients coming back, but you're going to make some money.
Yeah. It is marketing, marketing, marketing. I think we say that to the point of repetition every week that there's a lot of wonderful people in it who are therapists and who will come through as therapists and full of compassion, want to help people. But unfortunately, they won't be around in 12 months' time because they won't give as much time and attention to making themselves visible online. And some, in my experience, and that some are very uncomfortable with getting out there and making a video and putting a post on social media. I believe in manifesting, but you can try and manifest your clients, or you can get to grips with some of this new technology. Are you getting to grips with things like Canva and Chat GPT?
Yeah, I've actually taken the plunge and paid for Canva.
I don't know how
And,
much. What is it now? Just for the information.
um, it's about £20 a month, I think. I did it for a year.
I
Well,
think
I've got 30 days free, and then I'm going to pay for a year, and it's £100 for the year.
I think that's very reasonable, isn't it? I mean, perhaps some people listening therapists are thinking, Canva, what the hell is that? So just explain what that is giving you, Annette.
So Canva, it helps me with all my visual design. So I can create any leaflets or business cards. I can create videos. I can create posts. It will format things to the right size for Instagram, for Facebook, for YouTube. It
Wow.
it basically does everything
Wow.
you're going to look at.
Great asset then, isn't it?
You can even edit video on there.
Yeah.
If you're creating a little YouTube video, you can record yourself and
Yeah.
have yourself on there, or you can use images and you can just have one image just gently transitioning into another image as you speak, and you can add music to it. It's even got AI generation on there. It's it,
Is it serving you? I mean, there's obviously a learning curve, but you feel it is serving you in your marketing efforts now.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And with the paid version, you can bulk create posts.
Yeah.
You can make a template and then you can import information. So you could have like a list of quotes.
Hmm.
Ask ChatGPT to give you a list of quotes. And then you can take that, put that into Canva, put it into bulk create and these templates, and actually create say 30, 60 posts.
Crikey.
It takes me a couple of hours,
Right.
but I haven't done it often enough.
Right.
And most of that time is me going, what do I do next?
Mm.
Once you've learnt it, once you've had a couple of goes, it starts getting quicker.
Of
I'm
course.
getting quicker. Well, I started off at 2 hours. I'm down to about an hour now.
Is it paying dividends, do you think, in terms of engaging people at this stage?
Well, it means that I've got content that I can schedule onto. At the moment, I'm just scheduling it onto Facebook.
Yeah.
I have a post going out every single day on
Wow.
Facebook.
Good. Consistent. I have seen them. So yeah, well done. Yeah. That is the key, isn't it? Turning up every day.
And, I might do something a bit different, maybe to create a little short video and put that out as well at a different time.
Yeah.
Because you can't post too many times in a day.
Well, the old adage, who shouts loudest gets the attention. I mean, I see some hypnotherapists, probably 3 or 4 posts a day, and that's what sticks in people's minds. If they're going to think about therapy or hypnosis, they suddenly recall that annoying man or woman they keep seeing. But you've got to be out there, and if you're not comfortable with it,
Name is constantly out there. People
yeah,
don't necessarily read the post. They don't necessarily take that much notice, but subconsciously,
yeah,
you think, I need some help with my anxiety.
yeah. Sorry, my phone just went there.
Then that information's been drip fed. So when they look online to find someone, go, oh, that name's familiar.
Yeah.
Well, that's the anxiety woman.
That's the anxious woman now. Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. People get associated with certain things, don't they? But you got to be posting. And I think it's like ChatGPT has made it a lot easier, hasn't it? Hmm.
Yeah, everywhere people turn around, it's you. But if you're the one that, every time they look, you're there talking about anxiety or self-limiting beliefs or
Yeah.
gaining more confidence,
Yeah.
because you say it so often, you become the expert.
Another thing, Annette, that I saw on your website that intrigues me is you're actually doing hypnotherapy school diploma. So you
Yes.
you are a trainer as well, not
Yeah.
just a therapist, you are training. So tell me about that. It's very interesting.
What I'm doing at the moment is I buy a teaching license from Essex Hypnotherapy Training. So they devised the course, they put it together, they did all the hard work getting it accredited with the GHSC, which is
Right.
the General Hypnotherapy Standards Council,
Yeah.
which is part of the GHR, General Hypnotherapy Register.
Okay.
Um, and I teach people online. I used to do it face to face
Okay.
pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
but I now do the course online, live classrooms with breakout rooms. So I get people to, we do some theory. We talk about different techniques and how to put hypnotherapy sessions together, and
Good.
then get them practicing. So I'll do a demonstration. I might do it to the whole group, or I might do it with one individual. So everyone can see. Then they will have scripts sent to them prior to the lesson, and they will do those techniques with me watching,
Ah,
so
okay.
that I can make sure that I know that they're okay. They've got the idea. They know what they're doing with it.
Right.
What their scripts. All they need to do is really
Yeah.
follow, just to make sure they're not getting anything too wrong. And then they'd go off, they'd do a bit of written homework, but most of their homework would be working with volunteers.
All right. So there is a big practical element to it then. They get the,
And
yeah.
then I get them to keep a learning diary, so
Okay.
journal.
Hmm.
So they're going to say, not necessarily the name of the person, because I don't need to know that, but the duration of the session, what it's for, what techniques they used, what went well, what could have been better, what they might do differently next time. And
Great.
write up, the outcomes, how things have gone as they're progressing through sessions with that person.
And you busy doing this? You got a lot of students coming through?
I tend to keep it small, because during the training I'm going to be mentoring people.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't want a class of, say, 20 people and then have
No.
20 people trying to get the mentoring as well. But if you've got a class of 8, that's manageable.
Yeah, that's good. So you're doing it in addition to your own therapy then. So
Yeah,
it's a nice, good stream of income. So they're certified in the sense that they've gone through your diploma and at the end of it, how long is the training?
that's 10 months.
10 months.
So, and it's one full weekend.
Well, yeah, it's a big chunk of time. Wow.
The rest of the time they'll be working on with their volunteers. And
Okay. And how many of them are sort of going full time into therapy after that then?
um it varies. People do the course for a variety of reasons. I've had people that just want to do it just for the sake of learning it, and they don't necessarily want to go into practice.
Yeah.
The people who do want to go into practice, they will have support from me
Okay.
to help them do that. I help people with marketing ideas and
Mm.
things. I even have an extra module should people want to do it on
Mm.
marketing,
That's,
which I think will be hugely improved.
well, as we've already said, that's one of the most important things, isn't it? I noticed going through some of I went to two training academies and I think a lot of people don't follow it on. I think it's a personal interest thing. I think some people feel that they can just once they've qualified, they're going to have clients and it's going to be full time. It's not. I think we've already established that, but some people, are still working in full time jobs and doing this perhaps on the side. So yeah, why not?
And I have a lot of my students tend to be people who are already doing some form of therapy.
Okay.
So I have counselors. I've had a couple of psychotherapists. There's something else, and they want to bring in hypnotherapy and hypnosis
Mm. Mm.
into their therapy.
In the
What
toolbox. Yeah.
what quite often happens by the end of the course, they're doing more hypnotherapy than they actually thought they would.
Yeah.
Some of them even call themselves hypnotherapists.
It is an unregulated industry in this country, isn't it? That doesn't mean attracts all the bad sorts, but I mean it's good that there's a framework of training and people should adhere to that at the very least, I think. So good. New therapists coming through. What do you think their focus should be in it to sort of get up and running and give themselves the best chance of survival, in your opinion?
I think the first thing they need to do is get out there as quickly as possible and start getting paying clients.
Yeah.
Don't leave it. Don't think, oh no, I'm not ready.
Mm,
If you think like that, you'll never be ready.
good. Free sessions, discounted sessions?
No,
No?
just go straight in there, have a look and see what other people are charging.
Yeah.
Um, I advise my students to go for the highest.
So what are we talking about then? Let's be candid in the UK prices.
It depends on where you are.
Yeah.
In Cornwall, it's probably between 65 and 75, although that might be 3 years out of date now.
I'm a bit more than that, but I hear what you're
100,
saying.
plus.
Yeah. Okay. I think the temptation, isn't it, when you're newly qualified, you think, one, a lot of people undervalue themselves without realizing. I mean, if you're going to put 10 months into training, you've got to get that investment back. I mean, I don't know how much the diploma is, but still, that's a big chunk of time. And some people are very wary of getting that back. I understand, to free sessions is good because you get the experience, but either free or full price, not discounted, I think that does impact the value perception. But
Yeah.
yeah, get charging. I think that's good advice, and just get the work
Get
in.
out there and
Mm,
go for it.
yeah,
Don't hold back, just go for it.
yeah, yeah,
Because the more you hold back, the more you're going to overthink it. The more you overthink it, the less likely you are to do it.
yeah. And then it's a never-ending circle. Then you're not making the money because you're not getting out, and you're thinking it's not going to work for me. This. So yeah, I understand that. Okay, that's good, sound advice. Your future plans? Any areas you'd love to work in that you feel would be well suited to your skills as a hypnotherapist?
I'm still going to focus um, on the anxiety side of things.
Hmm.
I'm at the moment in discussions with another hypnotherapist for completely rewriting a hypnotherapy diploma. I've just completed the Jack Quinn Hypnosis Academy instructors
Oh,
diploma.
good.
So we're going to be looking at incorporating some of with Jack Quinn's techniques into that diploma as well, which is very exciting. Um, and really just ramping up the marketing
Mm.
and just making everything really slick, creating funnels for
Yeah.
absolutely everything I can think of, which will point straight back at the newly revamped website, create some lead magnets, and just keep plugging away.
That's it. It sounds like you got a good plan there. Lead magnets, following up, autoresponders, email marketing, social media. It's all good. It's all coming together.
Even going to be an AI chatbot on the website.
Is that right? Yeah. Excuse me. Why not? Why not? That's a good idea because sometimes we're not sure who actually visits the website. But if they do come and we're not there, they can talk to someone, I suppose. Others are using that quite successfully.
And if your chatbot's well trained, it will be able to answer their questions.
Yeah, that's true. If you train it, that's right. So top tip business, do you think? Get out there, practice, charging, anything else you just want to add in closing with this and that?
Um, really get serious about the marketing.
Hmm.
Don't do anything else. Get really serious about the marketing and come up with your own marketing strategy.
Yeah.
I'd say join Therapy Business Club as a definite starter as well.
I
And yeah, just do as much as you can.
yeah.
People
That's
know you can.
take action, get momentum, get
Yeah,
moving. That's it. Yeah. Things happen when you've got movement, don't they?
yeah. If you
Yeah.
stand still, that's all that's going to happen is you're just going to stay exactly where you were.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Listen, how do people contact you then, Annette? What is your website? Where can we find you online?
My website is winchester-hypnotherapy.co.uk.
That will be that will be below this video somewhere when you're watching it. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
And we'll be
details are on there. But if
okay.
someone wants to send me an email, it's amhypnosis@icloud.com.
Right. Okay. We'll put that on the YouTube video as well. This will be on YouTube and Spotify. So that's good to know. When people come to your website, they'll get a very good idea of what you can do for them and how to contact you to make that happen.
Yeah, yeah. There's a
Awesome.
contact form on there. My number's on there as well. So
Okay. Great. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed this episode of the Therapy Business Club podcast. A lot of useful, insightful stuff today from Annette that you can immediately cash in, use. I think the big message there, Annette, if I was listening right, marketing, marketing, marketing. Get out there, do something, get some momentum and traction, and people will then sort of come alongside.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You've
Awesome.
got to tell people you're there, otherwise they won't know.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today, Annette, and sharing. You might be listening to this on Spotify. If you are, great. You can subscribe to the future podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and perhaps share it with another therapist who you feel would benefit from listening to this episode and previous episodes as well. This is the Therapy Business Club. You can find us at therapybusinessclub.com, and everything that's been shared today about marketing, getting out there, social media, how to grow a successful therapy business, you can find on our website. Join, as I say, 2 weeks for free. Trial, learn everything, access everything we put together, and take it on from there. That's it for this podcast. I've really enjoyed my time with you, Annette, and I wish you a successful practice. You're an action taker, and may you have a flourishing practice, helping as many as you can.
Thank you so much.
All right. See you again. Thank you, everyone, and see you next time on the Therapy Business Club podcast. Bye bye.